Underdog Cup number 2 continues! Another best of 3 series, and we find ourselves in the winner's bracket. Infernal Shrines is our first map, and we have I Forgot Their Name going up against Nakiveen, which I can't quite remember what it means. It's Finnish, and it means something like the naked boat, or naked tent, or like sausage party, something along those lines. I like, correct me in the comments. It was some mix of that. Sausage boat or whatever. So yes, Nakiveen, they are in the winner bracket, so obviously I forgot the name. We have a winner and a loser's bracket here. The entire tournament is designed to be played out by teams that play in HeroesLounge in Division 4 and 5, which are the lowest divisions within HeroesLounge. So roughly the level of play that you're seeing here is gold plus minus. You will see the occasional silver player, maybe even a bronzy, but we've also had a guy that was, for example, in diamond. So it highly depends on if we're looking at a Division 4, Division 5 team, and then obviously those teams are mixed as well, but it is the lower end of the spectrum, which has a couple of interesting consequences right off the bat. I mean, first of all, you will see a lot of preference picks, and I actually talked to a couple of the players. Super nice. A lot of teams mega happy that we have the tournament here. It is really designed to just boost the grassroots a little bit, to show people just new teams, new faces, and also introduce HeroesLounge a bit to the ones that don't know it yet. But the interesting part here is that we still have a draft rule in place that says that every single hero can only be played once. And that means every single hero that gets played cannot be played throughout the rest of the series. So when you are talking about semi-pros, that doesn't really make too much of a difference. They have pretty deep hero pools, but one of the advice that is always, rightfully so by the way, given to newer players is, hey, focus on 1 or 2 heroes. So you will have a lot of guys that are one-trick ponies, or maybe play 2 heroes, and they have to adjust. And I talked to some of the players after a few of the matches and asked, is that a problem for you guys? Is that something that you like, that you don't like? And the feedback that I got so far is that they said, like, it's a little bit weird because we haven't dealt with anything like this before, but it's also a lot of fun. We have to figure out what's still available, what we can play, and we now also have a chance to try to draft more tactically by picking away a hero that our opponent likes, that we know they play a whole lot, take it for ourselves, and we know it's now removed for the rest of the series, and at the same time we still have bans available. So while it was a little bit of a newer concept to the teams here, so far it seems that they adopted it quite well, and it's endlessly a lot of fun what they're coming up with. You can already see the preference bans here with Cho'Gall and Kel'Thuzad being taken out, so that is exactly what we mentioned a bit earlier. We have now Vala plus Jojo taken for Infernal Shrines on the blue team side, and the red team has instead focused very much so for a lot of shrine control. I mean, we have Sonya with some spin to win, and then we get Diablo also from Odorox here. So let's see how this is going to pan out. A few more bans are obviously coming in, with Vala already taken. As again, this typical question, auto attack or multi-shot. We haven't really seen a whole lot of multi-shot here most of the time, even on maps where it would have made sense to go into an arrow build. Vala mainly went for auto attacks, which is of course quite powerful, but you still need to make sure that you can actually keep her alive. So right now, final ban for game number 1 of the series. And again, players that play here, if they lose, they still have a chance to drop down into the lower bracket and make a run here. We're currently in the winner bracket semi-final, by the way. So for Underdog Cup number 2, we didn't have a group stage or anything. We just have an 8-team double elimination system that we have here. So Anduin is banned out. No Anduin for game number 1. And now I want to see what the side laner is going to be for the team. Dehaka is available, Leo's available, you can go Hogga if you want, so there's still plenty of heroes around that would absolutely reign supreme, and they go for Dehaka. And we have also another auto attacker. So Vala and Tychus, you have the Odin transformation now for Infernal Shrines, you can play around that. Whereas for the red team, these are now the final 2 picks, so they haven't chosen any damage yet, they definitely need some. Mages are fairly popular here, by the way, in those ranks, and one of them is Kel'Thuz. Kel'Thuz has been a very, very popular damage dealer in this second Underdog Cup. So, could see him again. But we get Hanzo and we get Falstad. Alright. So, Hanzo and Falstad are in the house. And that leaves us with our final pick for map number 1 of the best of 3 series for I Forgot Their Name. Still an absolute caster troll of a name, by the way, just saying. But, yeah, that's what they went for here. So, okay. I see what he did there. Last but not least, we need a healer. And the weapon of choice is Stukov. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 in the best of 3 series here at the winner bracket of Underdog Cup number 2. I forgot the name. In blue on the left with Linus on Tigers. We got Jillian on Stukov. Balgua. Ooh, look at that. Arrow build on Infernal Shrines. He's playing Vala. We got Rock J on Johanna. And Anafas on Dehaka. Arrow build. There's definitely wandering in the footsteps of Chris Heroes, who love to play Puncturing Arrow on essentially any map that he played it on, but also here on Infernal Shrines. And then over on the right side, Nakivin with Odorox on Diablo. We got TT on Hanzo, Slithery Snack on Falstad, Vakandiro on Sonya, and Lasermehu on Brightwing. Falstad was trying to pull a bit of a Lauber here and just flew in immediately, trying to commit Honorable Sudoku, but it failed a little bit. Yeah, and now I want to see Vala absolutely popping off on the stacks here. So give me something to go on. Now, it would be interesting what the level 7 had. Oh, nice. Good move from the Arca. Look at that. Falstad in trouble. Gets the heal from Brightwing. But that technically could have been the first blood in the game. Really, really nice move from the Arca. And definitely something that Falstad did not see coming here. So, pretty sweet move. Now, I talked about them already a bit during the draft, but guys, once again, a reminder, if you want to play Heroes in a bit more of a competitive environment and just with like-minded people, not that drama that is Quick Match or Hero League all the time, check out HeroesLounge. It doesn't matter if you are in Europe or if you are in North America. HeroesLounge is European-based, but they have several players from NA as well. You can sign up on their website, and you don't have to have an entire team. It's totally okay if you're just an individual player, and it also doesn't matter what level you play at. If you, for example, are in Bronze, then hey, you can sign up as well as the guy that plays Grandmaster, and you will find a team there. So, if you haven't checked it out yet, I would highly recommend that you do. HeroesLounge.gg. They also have a very active Discord. You can find the link also on their website. So if you have any questions, just join the Discord server and ask in the community. These guys are super helpful. This thing has been around for, I mean, basically 10 years. So check them out if you haven't yet. It's going to help you enjoy Heroes of the Storm. I can guarantee you at least that much. 1 kill against Diablo, so we already had a little bit of a battle going on down at the bottom of the map as they were fighting for the camp. Johanna went down, Diablo went down, so we now have both teams losing their tank once. Vala is still stacking and doing her thing here. So stacks are currently coming together for her, and she's making a couple of sweet moves on that. Vala, of course, once that level 7 hits, we're gonna see if she goes for Monster Hunter as well, which would help them to get those camps a little bit faster. It's always a question on, is that something that you're really looking for? Helps with Shrine minions, of course, too, but they have to decide whether or not this is something that they're going to be aiming for the rest of the game here, or if they're just completely focused on trying to get hero damage connected here. But she has 3 stacks right now. Nothing too insane. Haven't seen the first big fight just yet. And now, in the meantime, we have the first objective coming up. Falstad, oh, straight in the condemn, messes up the escape. A really nicely executed gank by the blue team, and that allows them to get another kill just as the objective is about to spawn. So that should give the blue team not only a little bit of a boost in experience that they might be able to translate into an earlier level 7 talent, but also the upper hand when it comes to the shrine. Now, the problem is that Falstad can, of course, quickly fly across the map, and that's definitely what he's going to do here. So we'll see him fly towards the top, I suppose. No, we are not, because he apparently is on cooldown. Okay. But the early level 7, the Haka could have stayed at the bot lane a little bit longer, so they lock in level 7. Now they haven't really done that, which means big fight still. The Haka looking for the next lick here. Stukov with a lurking arm already. They put Sonya into a corner, and there's the kill. Jojo with a nicely timed condemn, and they go for Brightwing too. 2 heroes down on the side of the Finnish team, but at least they're able to take down Tigers. Tigers has been destroyed. The camp is also still being attacked here. And we got a party on our hands. Vala with level 7 also going for Monster Hunter. So helping her with some camp clear for sure. And can also then start to use a couple of arrows, I guess, against the minions once that the actual fight is over. So we're going to see that utilized a bit more often, I would assume. They are going for the objective. They will grab the first one. But Falstad is now down at the bottom of the map. So Falstad is starting to make his play here to go for the next few structures, taking one of the towers down, or trying to. The Haka will be the one rotating against him, which means that we have 2 globals at the bottom of the map doing their thing. Top side, though, they need to bait this over. And they do. Nice bait over the wall. So far, so good. So Nakivin trying to defend, yes, best as they can, but the blue team is already crushing through that wall, taking the final tower down, and now tries to push the red team back so they can do even more damage to the fort. Nice, good jump from the Punisher, and that's a lot of damage on the fort, I might add. This is only the first objective, and they now have the fort down to 50% of its HP. Not too shabby. Now, Vala is, of course, still trying to also get some additional stacks. That's going to be the next big play for her. Get as many stacks together as she possibly can and make a play around that. Falstad, a little bit worried, I guess, because he doesn't have vision on the rest of the team in blue. I mean, for very good reason. He already got killed earlier. So if all of a sudden you find yourself in a spot where you don't have vision on your opponent, you might want to play it a bit safer, just on the off chance that you're being ganked up on once again. So yeah, want to avoid that next kill. But as it stands now, we have also stacks coming together for Diablo, for example. He's 5 short of getting his souls, so that he has his revive. Odin is in, so Tychus can commandeer it. And we now have the flailing swipe. Typical talents, isolation, Vala with the Rain of Vengeance. And immediately they're popping it. Odin is out. Okay. And off we go. Sonya with leap. This is, by the way, the go-to talent for Sonya in these lower leagues here. I don't think I've seen a single Wrathful Berserker who was only leap, 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 and more leap. And that's what we're going to get here again. Already Sonya maybe looking for a target. They can also go leap into Hanzo's arrow. Let's not forget about that. There's a couple of nasty comps that they can try to execute. Sonya is already attempting to hide, but they won't be able to do any serious damage just. Other team is just playing it a little bit too safe, so yeah, that's just not happening. Sonya, top side, has to deal also with the minions that are being pushed through. Obviously, at this point, the team would love nothing more than try and take the first fort out. Ah, Dehaka again with the tongue here. Diablo, but Iron Skin is ready. And them gets used too. Try and get out here. Vala is sitting at 10 stacks. Nothing insane, but it will ramp up over time. First objective has done some damage, but obviously wasn't able to take a fort out yet, so we don't have a structural advantage. Oh, arrow! Leap arrow into Apocalypse! Woo! Somebody went all out on that attack. And they kill Vala, they try Stukov, he gets away, which is actually in and of itself insane. The camp was already taken. So considering how sick some of those plays were, or that coordination, they got very little out of it. I'm actually amazed that only one hero died. Check this out again. They threw everything at them at once. Arrow comes out, Apoc comes in. You could maybe stagger it a little bit more, but yep, that was pretty sweet. And only Vala died. They used 3 ults, but they got very little out of it, all things considered. Still a pretty cool move, and yeah, that's one way to win team fights, but they would have hoped for a few more kills, I assume. So now we have 4 kills to 3 in total, both teams on level 12, and the fight straight up for Shrine number 2, which is going to be an Arcane Punisher this time. Odin, ready, gets popped right away. Red team is already ahead with 20 points to 9. Oh, Vala! Another Rain of Vengeance! And Sonya gets wrecked. Diablo also in trouble. Brightwing comes in and tries to help out. Even Gust and Arrow from Hanzo can't do anything about it. So that's 2 kills in total. Diablo will be back in just a moment. He still has the 25 soul stacks, keep that in mind. This is actually a change that came in after HGC got cancelled. And it's something that has, actually nothing to do with the developers. There's still a misconception that this was patched, and it wasn't. This was just Diablo by himself deciding that he would keep the souls of the evil Blizzard CEOs just for eternity. He's never gonna give him back. Even if he dies, those are the 25 he just said like, nope, these guys were directly responsible, I'll keep them. And I endorse that. I think that's absolutely amazing, so kudos to Diablo. choice, well done. I stand with Diablo, so yeah. 7 kills to 3, Punisher number 2, and they're already moving in to destroy the fort. That one's gone. Dehaka is sitting at the top and is hoping to make this a double. So he is trying to take the next fort out here as well. Might actually even be able to pull that off. But down here, it's even the keep that they're trying to attack. So the wall is already gone over here. Tychus, doesn't have Odin just yet. Another 70 seconds, but here comes the arrow. Leap, Apoc, everything is in. And they get the kill on Tychus. Nice. Tychus and Stukov are both dead, and now they're going for the third. It's a triple, baby. They take down Johanna. Dehaka, completely unimpressed, is just rotating between the lanes, and he was responsible for the top fort being destroyed. Arrow, Leap, and Apoc, as you can see here. I gotta say, considering that we are going for Division 4 and 5, that's some really nice coordination. You can always nitpick a little bit at this one and say like, hey, they could do this even better. What if they hold Leap just a bit longer and then Leap to extend the stun even further? But that coordination on this level is pretty impressive. So big shout out to the team here. They're coordinating their attack extremely well. And this is, by the way, exactly what I talked about when I said that if you want to play like this with like-minded people, then just do it. Again, these are the lower leagues in HeroesLounge, and tell me where you would be able to coordinate attacks and ults like this whenever you play just as a solo queuer. You just can't. That's just a matter of fact. So again, check them out, HeroesLounge.gg, as I said before. 16 is kicking in. Red team, after a little setback, is trying to repay them in kind, and they take down Falstad. The bird is dead again. Falstad has been eliminated, so yep, he's dead and gone. But we are closing in on the same experience now. Vala has 13 stacks. Not really a whole lot. I mean, seriously not a whole lot of stacks for her. But she gets Manticore now, which is obviously also quite neat. But the red team is still waiting for the level 16 talents. They need 16 as soon as possible. They need to try and make sure that they're going to be able to take out, or to at least play on the same talent tier first, and then take out a couple of heroes. So they'll try and see what can be done here. For now, they're just defending. But 16 kicks in. This is their moment to try and take this back a bit. Yeah. Sonya has to leave out. Apoc still connecting with 2. Oh, the blessed shield. And instantly the follow-up from Dehaka with the Tong and Vala with the Rain of Vengeance. Sonya's dead again. Yeah. Can't quite take Diablo out. But he got close. Oh, well, actually he scratched that. Took them maybe a little bit longer, but he is gone. So, Diablo is dead. Still had the soul stacks and is respawning. So yeah, he'll be back in a moment in this fight. But the situation still remains more or less the same. They are now in a spot where they are pinned down. The shrine is activating. Sonya is down for another 13. Their camp got stolen away. And they already get the upper hand here as they're making their play for some extra shrine action. Now, down at the bottom of the map, our side laners, our globals, still making the plays. Question is just when is Dehaka going to join the fun? Actually, it doesn't really seem like the red team is willing to go into the shrine fight in the first place. They are, but they are really, really late. This is a frozen Punisher, boys, and there's already 30 stacks to the opponent. So if you engage now, you're going to have to deal with the Immortal as well. And I don't really think that's in your interest. So, yeah. Push through the mid lane. And the fort is going to fall 100%. The only real question at this point is how much more after this are they able to take down? What else can they actually eliminate? Can the fort, the keep, for example, be destroyed too? Odin already getting popped. So that's the next one. Breaking through the sidewall, getting a little bit of vision. And yeah, this is actually looking pretty promising for them. Keep not being hit by the shots, on the other hand. And Diablo low, but still alive. Bright being a bit of a heal here. Then at the same time, Falstad gets pushed back. They are still damaging the keep, but the Frozen Punisher is defeated any second right now. And again, it made things a lot harder for them. Oh, and again! These combos! The arrow into into the APOC, and then they get the kill on Johanna, but they lose Falstad again. That has happened several times right now. So, bit unfortunate, but look at this. Once again, Arrow comes out as they're all clustering up, connects with 4, and then they're taking the kill. But Falstad, he gets killed a second later. So, yeah, this is a bit rough. Obviously, if you get a combo like this, you should get a few more kills, but it wasn't quite in the cards for them here. Diablo pushing out, dying, but so does Vala. It's trades galore. 1 kill on each side. We have 51,000 damage for Tychus. Vala is sitting at 31,000. Hanzo with 52k at this point in time. But look at Falstad. He died 4 times already, and that's just not looking good for them. Blue team has level 20 talents, and they're still dominant on the map. So they are making the big plays for themselves here. They're consistently able to take the mercenary camps and just dominate the entire middle of the map. Whereas the red team is heavily pinned down and is therefore having some serious trouble trying to break out and yeah, fight back here. So as it stands, we have them pushing through the middle. I mean, there's a couple of keeps that are essentially exposed. If they can siege up on those, that would be all that they really need here. So we'll see if they're going to do that now with level 20 talent, but honestly it feels like they're just sitting tight waiting for the next objective to spawn and then just say, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to play around the objective here. That's at least what it feels like right now. Now we'll see if anything changes on that. Well, I could also go for the camp here, but hasn't done anything there either. The problem, obviously, that comes with it is that the blue team now gives up a bit on the advantage that they're running, which means that they're not in a position where they're going to do, where they're going to exploit their level 20 talent up. But they start to change things up, push into the middle, nicely timed, and they're taking down the keep, but we'll have to retreat here. Jojo even throwing out her ult just to be on the safe side. Yeah, she just YOLO'd out the ult just to be like, okay, we're gonna move back now. We're gonna take it easy from here on out, but yeah. Ult will be back in time for the next big fight. So on that end, at least, they're gonna be safe here. But let's just see how much further they can go. Down at the bottom of the map, this is where the next objective is now going to spawn. And this is obviously going to be the big one, or one of the big ones now. But with the play over in the middle, now we now have 67 stacks for Falstad. 10 stacks, by the way, on Tychus level 4 talent. So he only needs another 5 and he's going to be done with this. Which would also be more than just a little bit interesting here. But, well, as it stands now, that's going to be the next big move. They're already starting to move in. 10 stacks on each side at this point. And yeah, APOC, leap. This time they're missing. This time they're missing their connects. This could get dangerous mega quickly now. Sonya is about to die. She goes down. Vala is dead too, but the bird just explodes. Falstad just explodes in mid-air. So he's gone. They're still fighting this out. Still trying to see where they can follow up on it. But it is getting wild for sure over here. They are going ham on them. So, yep, not too bad. Seems like the blue team is going to be able to pull this one off. At least they're looking really good here. They have also a camp that is pushing at the top and is soon going to start damaging the actual keep. But down at the bottom of the map, this is where the real attack is now going to happen. Top side keep will take damage. At the bottom of the map, I think it's pretty much inevitable that this one is going to get wrecked. I would be shocked if they somehow were able to actually defend this. That would be wild if you ask me. But yeah, we'll see. But already they're starting to make the next move here. And they get the kill on Diablo and Brightwing. Diablo and Brightwing are both dead, so they get 2 quick kills. And that leads us to a keep destroyed, the keep at the top being mega low as well. And this should... Oh, yeah, they're losing everything. It's 18 kills to 9 at this point. So this is going to be lights out for sure. They're going to be going in for the core and take this one down. Nicely done, I gotta say. Well played. Kill number 20 incoming. This looks like a 5-man team. And not team white. Maybe now? No. But the game is over anyways. GG, and we'll play the blue team with the lead in this series.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Second map is Sky Temple. I forgot the name. Has the lead in the best of 3 series. And Nakiveen has chosen Sky Temple, which immediately led to a couple of comments from the blue team because they were like, we hate this map. So apparently they're not really a fan. We'll see if that has an impact on how this one ends. If this is going to be a 2-0 or a 2-1, we'll find that out now. But just suffice it to say that the blue team did not really approve the choice that was made here for the map. So they are first pick, first ban. The heroes that have been played before cannot be played again. And I talked about this a bit during the first draft, but keep in mind that all of the teams that you see here have already played matches now in this tournament. So if you're a team that does their homework, then you just basically can go back, watch the games that they've done here, or just look at the draft. You can do the same also for the league matches that the teams have done. And if you see a couple of heroes pop up pretty regularly here, then either pick them away, or we just simply ban them out. So you can really do a whole lot right now trying to target specific roles. And most of the teams that I talk to here in Division 4 and 5 have actually tried to do that during their matches where they said, hey, we know we're targeting their tank. We know he likes to play those heroes. We're trying to push them out of their comfort zone, and we try to force them to play something that they might not be all that familiar with. Now, on Sky Temple, very early ban on Zagara. Just saying. I think as one of the tanks, we're probably going to see Murd in here. Nubarak gets now banned. Now, of course, we could still go full Cho'Gall at some point. He was banned earlier, and so was Khaldor, so seems like the two of them make it through the draft now, which has me already hoping. So yeah, gimme, gimme, gimme. We actually had them play Khaldor in one series, if I remember correctly. So I believe Khaldor was already played. And there's the Cho'Gall ban. Why do these people hate fun? I don't understand. What is not to love? 2 for the price of 1. The Walmart special in the draft. But yeah. Nubarak was banned, and maybe Nubarak was really banned because they thought they could go for Cho'Gall in their 2-3. But there's the Murden pick that I already expected. A nice thing if you have like a disc from IF or a Cocoon from Nubarak and you go up against Cho'Gall, it's just, it is value. The efficiency is through the roof. The Germans are getting excited just thinking about it. But the double pick, and we get the Wolf back. Greymane and Rhaegar. Okay. Greymane Rhaegar in the first rotation. Immediately when I see that, I'm thinking Sylvanas. There's Khaldor. I talked about him in the context of Infernal Shrines, but we now see him on Sky Temple. So you have a Stormbolt into a Gravity Lapse. Already a bit of CC that can be stacked. Don't forget, a lot of fights here come also down to a boss battle later on. And we get Anduina. Okay, so a little bit of pull out. Khaldor actually looks like a vampire. People are always going in for his like elf and blood elf stuff, but like seriously, he's a vampire. Maybe you can argue that most vampires, when you think about them, have like black hair. Is that actually a thing? Do vampires generally have black hair? I think most of them do. But I don't think that's a rule. But yeah, he just simply like colors his hair. That's what it is. Sergeant Hammer is banned out. Okay. Yeah, I don't really think that was necessary. I mean, okay, again, they're more familiar with those teams, so maybe Hammer is also a special pick for them. But here on Sky Temple, Hammer, you can siege up on the temple, I guess. Push them out a little bit. But there we go. The more I look at the portrait of Khaldor, I feel he needs some blood-sucking spell or something. We don't actually have a real vampire in the game, right? Mal'Ganis doesn't count. But like a vampire? We have Gul'dan with the Saki build, but I think that's also not the same thing. Blizzard should do something about that. Nah, I'm just kidding, we're not gonna get any content anyways. But hey. Now. Ban on Garrosh. Sky Temple is the map. It's their map, and there comes Tyrael and Hogger. So now they got Sanctification. So we have Sanctification on the boss, if it comes to that. And the final 2 picks for the opponent. So you know you're up against Hogger on your side lane. You still need somebody that can contest that. And that can go up against him. Muradin as the main tank for them. And then just a question of what the next damage dealer is going to be. Khaldor's Lone's nice, he adds additional CC, but you still want to have a little bit more of an oomph there. We've seen a couple... Oh, Jimmy again. Yeah, Jimmy is actually someone that has appeared a few times. And we get Ragnaros. Alright, so Ragnaros is in the house. That's going to be interesting too. I mean, they could go Sulfuras with the stun that is there, but they could also go Lava Wave if they feel that it gives them an advantage controlling the macro game. And that leaves us with our final pick for game number 2 in our first best of 3 series of the day here in the winner bracket semi-final. And our final weapon of choice as a damage dealer is Abathur. I like it. Make the slug great again. Yeah, we are starting a Maga movement. Make Abathur great again. You all can be part of it. And we're gonna find out what Abby can now do on Sky Temple, our second map of the series. Second game, and on the left in blue, we have I forgot their name, Rock J on Anduin. Linus is playing Ragnarok. We have Vandrias on Muradin, Balgur on Reyna, and Jillian is playing Khaldor. Level 1, ace in the hole for Jimmy. Let's go. Let's see what he can do here. And also how good his survivability is, considering that he just lacks some mobility tools here. On the other side, we got Odorox on Tyrael. Slithery Snack on Greymane. TT is playing Hogger. Simba on Rhaegar. And Laser Mihu is playing Abathur. Oh yeah, the real Slabathur is in the house. And he's already slapping it up a little bit. So... Ragnaros on level 1, starting things up with Sulfuras Hungers. Okay, Tyrael says hello and very quickly decides that it's time to just move out here. Obviously, they're also aiming for an they're aiming for a level 10 here. The whole idea being you just want to make sure that you're going to grab your copy on Abathur as quickly as you can. Now I say that, but I should also acknowledge that there is, of course, as usual, a chance that they're just simply saying, like, what do you mean, copy? We're going for Monty, the monstrosity, and we're going to reign supreme on those side lanes. So, we'll see. Not sure if it's going to come to that, but hey, time will tell. Now, with all of that said and done already, we still have a little bit of action playing through at the top. That's where we currently have Ragnaros in play, so he is easily going to move through here and is going to do his thing, but apparently completely uncontested. Nobody's moving in trying to deal with him, at least not at this point. And then at the same time, we're already looking at a big fight over here off the cap. Rhaegar goes down. The blue team has an additional body in the game. That's the explosion against Greymane. Camp is taken. Tyrael is also dead. It's a triple kill against Nakivine. And, oh, yeah, they bit off a little bit more than they can chew here. And this, of course, hurts. This definitely hurts them a lot. That one was brutal. That one was absolutely brutal and definitely doesn't help them, because now they lost their own camp on the other side. And with 2 siege giant camps, that bot lane is heavily contested. They're gonna lose a little bit of structural damage here. And of course the experience gain that I forgot the name has achieved is also pretty solid. They are half level ahead and they're doing pretty okay here. Just barreling down on the bot lanes forward, trying to take that wall out, which they obviously can. And yeah, so far so good for them. Ragnaros is also now rotating between the top and the mid lane. Red team still has to recover a little bit. And that's a fantastic start for... I forgot the name. That invade on the camp did just absolutely backfire on Nakivine. They got nothing there. Now, the temple fights, they will be interesting. There's a 1 level lead by now. There should be an earlier level 7 therefore. For I forgot the name. They're gonna get that eventually. But right now, everybody is just trying to do their thing over here. AKA... trying, of course, to just like move around a little bit, get a couple of camps, make a move for the temples themselves. And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to get from them. They take the camp on the left side. Temples are going to be taken pretty soon too, but the red team is getting some initial shots off. So good for them. They're getting some shots, but they will have to retreat. They're also caught up in experience, more or less. So this is actually not all over. That wall is already destroyed. Greymane, when he can get into Worgen form on a structure, is gonna rip them a new one. And nobody's defending here. Nobody is doing anything about this. This is a little bit of a wild one, honestly. They should be a bit more careful on this. Ragnaros is trying to protect it as best as he can and is using it also to attack the middle. But they're not going to get too much here. And that means that the fort in the middle of the map is gone. Nakivin just took the first structure out. So, yep, structure number 1 is already eliminated. And now, at the top, it doesn't seem that the blue team can respond in kind. There's also Abathur, who has Mule on level 7. So that makes matters even worse. He's starting to repair this. What started off extremely well for the blue team, as they got 3 kills and the experience gains, is now starting to turn against them a bit, because, well, that advantage is pretty much lost. They are now behind in structures, and they are a little bit behind in experience. So, that turned quickly. That turned very, very quickly. Much more quickly than I expected, that's for sure. Yep. It's gonna be very curious to see how they're now going to deal with this. Yeah, this won't be easy. Down at the bottom of the map, we now have also Abathur still sitting tight here, has so far not moved out at any point. Blue team needs to also chillax a little bit and be like, alright guys, that might not have worked exactly the way that we intended it to, but let's just continue playing like we did at the start and we're gonna be fine here. It's at least something they gotta tell themselves. So, yeah, we'll see. But right now, they're already starting to make a bit of a play over here. Let's see what they can actually do on that. I mean, not too much right now. On the bottom of the map, there's still a chance that they can get some damage in here. Siege Giants, I mean, they're taking them out quickly. Abathur is sitting at the top and trying to push with the Symbiote. Whereas we have Ragnaros in the middle. They're going to hit both of them are going to hit level 10 in just a few seconds. Red team a little bit faster. So now Abathur, do we get the copy? We get the copy. Okay, so we got the copy, we got the bullet. Sanctification is out. Blue team needs to wait just a little bit longer. And then we'll see what Ragnaros is going to pick here. He's going Lava Wave, so we don't get Sulfura Smash. Lava Wave is in. Muradin. Jimmy! Stun, gets the Hyperion out, gets saved by Anduin initially, and then he dies. So Anduin has not made a choice yet, and by the way, talking about choices, Muradin thought it's a great idea to go for Haymaker. So, he's going Haymaker. Anduin with the bubble. Okay, the holy word salvation. Anduin is going to bubble it up a little bit. Lava Wave is already hitting at the top. Nicely timed. Gets the spawning minion wave, so that's top lane value. And will pressure the top side fort, so good for them. But down here at the bottom of the map, yeah, let's see what they can do. The problem is that, of course, Jimmy is still missing. He's now on his way. Not here yet. Sanctification is out, and Anduin, the Crybaby, gets destroyed. Crybaby is gone. They got the copy on Greymane. Now they're fighting for the spot here. And Nakivin, ladies and gentlemen, they are doing better and better all of a sudden. So, yep, they are looking really good. They are starting to take the structures out, and the problem at the top lane is obviously that we still have Mule. Abathur still has Mule and is going to use that as much as he can to keep those structures alive. So it's neat that you have your Lava Wave and you can push your minions in and do a bit more work. That's also going to put a stress on the cooldown. But you're not taking structures out, and that's what Sky Temple is all about. Getting those structures removed so that eventually your temples are going to attack the opponent's core. So that's the idea here. And they still have to pull that off properly. Up to now, it just hasn't happened. Not the way that you would want here. So damage output between the two teams. We have now 17,000 for Khaldor, the top damage dealer for the blue team, top damage dealer in the game, followed by Hogger, by the way. Greymane is currently trailing Hogger. So Greymane is a little bit behind of Hogger. Doesn't quite have the same numbers that he can bring to the fights here. And yeah, top side with the fort still standing, the red team and the level 13 talent. They're now trying to make the next move and take out the top side a bit. Yeah, good timing from what I can tell. Also now on the side of Ragnaros at the bottom of the map. Gets one minion wave, the next one will spawn soon, so he's going to get more value out of that. That leaves him with additional experience, of course, currently. And they can, in addition to that, then also attempt to maybe apply pressure at the bot fort too. Top fort is already going to get attacked here, but it's the left side camp that the two teams are focusing on again. The last time that didn't go too well for the red team. Now they steal it. They got it with the holy ground. Nice. Bubble is out from Anduin, so Anduin bubbled it up, and they got the Hyperion coming through, even Phoenix, but the red team retreats, no problem for them. Didn't even use the copy on Abathur. Maybe some pressure down at the bottom of the map now. Maybe they can do something here. Keep in mind that one of the big problems that they still have is, of course, the fact that Abathur is just keeping Mule up. Yeah, good save from Anduin. Narena was really in trouble there. He wouldn't have been able to get out of the corner by himself. Muradin jumps in. Where's the Haymaker? There's the Haymaker. And Greymane is eliminated. Greymane goes down. That is kill number 4 for I forgot their name. So, Anduin has, by the way, not taken his level 13 talent yet. I honestly have the feeling that he forgot about it. No, there it is. Okay, now we have it. Anduin wants to get himself some new boots. And now, after the fort got destroyed at the bottom of the map, ooh, instead of going for the temple, okay, they're going for the temple. I was just wondering if they really went for the boss here. They definitely were thinking about it. I mean, they already pinged it, but they didn't engage into this. So instead, they're trying for the temple. Greymane is back, but he's not in the fight yet, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to actually make an appearance here. And therefore, the points, the shots, go over to I forgot their name. Still behind in experience, but they're getting a bit here. Top side. Oh, Abathur might be in trouble. Ah, tunneled down to the bottom of the map. He heard the audio cue and tunneled down to the bot lane immediately. Or that would have been a dead Abathur. I'm not so sure about Hyperion here, but the Ancestral was on point, and they of course got all of the shots fired. So that translates directly in 2 forts missing on the red team side. But let's not forget that while the top fort might now fall, Nakivin has already destroyed every single fort on the opponent's side. So that has already happened. Reyna is down. And, well, at the top, the fort at least is gone. But it seems like Nakivin is, I mean, they are not slouching at all. They're just going straight up for the boss. And saying, alright, we're going to go for the boss. We're going to take that bad boy out. And then make our next move from that. The blue team figures it out. But I don't think they can actually do something here. No, so they have to let that slide. 16 talents are in for the red team, and now it's all about the defense at the bottom of the map. But we have an interesting game on our hands. They're even in structures, but there is of course that nice little advantage for the red team when it comes to experience, and also that boss attack that they lined up at the bottom of the map. 16 talents now on both sides. Good for them. But 23,000 damage for Khaldor, 17,000 for Jimmy, and 25,000 damage for Hogger. Yeah, Hogger number 1 right now. So, he's gonna be the big boy in the game. They attack at the top at the same time. Greymane, of course, being invaluable in that situation. And here comes the single temple on the next one. So single temple is in. Now, on top of that, with 16, we get the double pull. We got the Sky and Giant Scorcher. We got Imposing Presence, Rallying Cry, and continuously the Lava Waves. Now, I'm not 100% certain. I guess they still got enough there, but top lane would have been a much better target, I think. Also because of the catapults that are currently pushing through there. So that is going to do some damage, and it allows Abathur just much easier to do his thing at the top. So I'm a little bit... I want to say a little bit confused as to why he used it at the bot lane. I think top lane would have been way better. This is just a really annoying situation. You have a camp coming in. Hogger is now there. They're going to push straight for the keep. Ragnaros is at least ready and should also... I think he has his trade up. Does he already? He has used it at the bot lane, but he might have the trade up. The red team is thinking about just simply attacking structures here. And down there, they are going to try and take that wall out. There will be some keep damage, but the problem still remains the same. Abathur has Mule. And with Abathur running Mule, yeah, there's only so much that you can do. Because he is going to throw that out every single time. So Mule should soon be ready. I don't think they can get the entire thing. No, they can't. So Abathur will have plenty of time to drop on here and try and repair this. And the rest of the team is attempting an attack over on the left side, and they're starting to move in for this. And are, of course, hoping to maybe get a kill. A lot of these Hyperions are just a bit too soon. Hyperion is really nice if you can force the opponent to fight in it. But just dropping it at the beginning of the fight is doing nothing for you but the opponent moving back, you wasting a big cooldown and not having it ready when you really need it. So if you instead try and, for example, push for that keep at the bottom of the map, you're going to get value out of it one way or another. But the experience gap is also a problem now for, I forgot the name. Level 20 will be ready in a moment. And once you have that level 20 talent, I mean, then obviously it's going to give you a massive... Now, there is... The window is nice. It's not a small window, but we'll see how much they can do with it. I mean, right now, it's just one wave after another at the bottom of the map. So that's nice damage. 20 is in, but it's half a level until they'll have it back too. So they need to be a bit careful that they're not being forced into a fight right now. This is probably the most important part for them. But doesn't really seem that Nakivin is pushing too aggressively to force that battle. So I think they're going to be totally fine here, waiting for a 20 versus 20 fight around the two temples that are now activating here. But I mean, this is a double temple that is coming up right now. And, well, the air is getting a little bit thinner here. Abathur, by the way, with Mule now active at the bottom of the map, as you would expect. So this is going to heal things up. Boss is not up yet, but should be soon. So that could be a huge factor, of course, too. That's another 40 seconds, and then we're going to have it back on the map. But the temples are activating sooner than this. And now they're trying to fight. Now, Ragnaros has, of course, another wave. Could use it. Should, maybe. Okay. At least he gets a bit of value out of the Hyperion. But I think it would have been better if it actually covered the point that they're trying to fight for. Would also be good for a boss battle. But currently we have now, with only 7 kills in the game, the chance for the blue team to set themselves ahead a little bit. Keep in mind this is match point for them. They're trying to end the game here. Bubble is out. Heals are coming in. Lava wave in the middle. Nice Stormbolt. But the Ancestral and the ult from Ethereal. Problem is that Rhaegar is gone. Abathur also gets killed. Abathur got killed by the wave, but they're still losing the fight in the middle. Greymane is going bananas. The Stormbolt connects. Mirrodin tried to jump out, but couldn't quite. And here comes Ragnaros. That might save the day for them. So everybody is a bit low, with the exception of Hogger. Jimmy is still trying to push in. They got to be careful here. Abathur gone. They try and force him back here, with Ragnaros still doing work. That works fine. Zoning Stormbolt from Mirrodin. That didn't do anything for them. I think if they just Stormbolt Hogger here, they could get the kill. Ragnaros now with a push at the top. They're trying to get the points in the middle. And can the blue team grab the last few? It doesn't seem likely. No, the red team takes over. Mirrodin jumps off. Oh boy. And a few shots fired towards that middle keep. But there is still... Oh, it is so close. There is still a temple at the top. And the red team is now trying to move in. Both of the teams will have their 5-man back on the map in just a little bit. But we're not there yet. It's getting mega close now. Mega close. Abathur is sitting in the middle now. And let's see where we get the next lava waves. 25 seconds until Ragnaros has another set available. They need to push for that top side temple, or they're going to lose their keep at the top. And once that the keep at the top is gone, the shots will center into the middle, and they would lose the second one too. Structurally, the blue team is behind. They haven't really lost any keeps yet, but all the keeps that they have are mega low. So Mirrodin takes over here. They're starting to take vision again, and the red team is now trying to move towards the top and maybe take that temple. Keep in mind, This is going to slowly start attacking the keeps on the red team side too. Shots are now gone, and that leaves us, you guessed it, with a boss at the bot lane. So they want to try and go for the fight here. They defend this quickly, and I think they're now trying to get the boss. This is definitely going to happen. One of the teams will at some point say like, okay, let's just YOLO it. They're going to try and YOLO it hard and attempt to take the boss away from the opponent. And then it's going to come to a battle around that. I don't think that any of the teams is going to be able to sneak that in. Specifically not the blue team with all of the toxic nests that are of course set in here. What a game again. Oh, this is a fun one. So, they're taking the siege giants down at the bottom of the map. Ragnaros has one charge on his ult. So one charge on the ult right now. Nobody's making a move here. It's a trap! And everybody's sitting at the boss. As expected. Oh boy. The keep in the middle, by the way, is gone now. So, they have Ragnaros, which is nice. But they will have to use those charges sooner rather than later if they want to maintain map control. And they definitely should. I mean, they need to do something with them. So, as is, we now have still 6-5 Ragnaros with a wave at the top lane. What is this wave clear? 250,000. Abathur hasn't really been affected by any of this. He's hiding between the lanes then. So he shouldn't be hit by that too hard. Temples are now up. Ah, this is tough for the blue team. This is really tough. The blue team, they need to force a fight and they need to win a fight. If they don't do that, they're just going to lose here. This is essentially what's going to happen. So they're trying again for the boss. They nearly get stunned. There's the play for Greymane. And can they get a Stormbolt? Yes. A little bit of damage against Tyrael. Moving in for the boss yet. Some more damage from the Hyperion. But Hogger is doing a ton of work and is sitting now at 43,000 damage. 50,000 for Greymane, who has finally taken over. Has taken over the damage board completely. And now they try to get the shots in the middle. It comes down to a team fight. I mean, you can try and play around your opponent as much as you want, but in a situation like this, I can guarantee you what it comes down to is an actual team fight. It doesn't matter if it's over a temple or the boss, but they gotta do something eventually. And with Sanctification being around, they're willing to engage. They want this. They want this. They have Sanctification, they have the Shockwave. They're like, guys, we got this. Let's just go in. Boss, are they gonna try and let it leech, or are they gonna try and steal it here? Muradin is jumping in deep. Jimmy is already losing hit points, so is Khaldor. This is not looking all that great for the blue team. Red team is not willing to just simply give this one up, and why would they? They're gonna Sanctification this up in just a second. Already the boss is taken. The bubble gets interrupted. Blue team is getting wrecked. Yep. Holy Ground takes the boss from Tyrael. And now we have Khaldor's gone. They get the lava wave in, but they simply move through it. It doesn't matter too much. Linus is about to die. He's gone. Ragnaros is eliminated. The boss at the bot lane, and it seems like we're going to game number 3 in this series. They were able to make the big play here in the winner bracket, take out the opponent's team during that fight. It was nicely timed. The Sanctification on the ground, and once that Anduin started to use the bubble, it got quickly interrupted by Hogger. So no chance to actually get value out of it. And 22 minutes into game number 2, we have a victory for Nakiveen. They forced the 3rd map in this best of 3 series. Yeah, Sky Temple, they chose the map, and rightfully so, for good reason. They are able to lock in the W over here. And we are going to the final map of the series. GG. Game number 3, Tomb of the Spider Queen. So, Nakiveen was able to force the 3rd map in the series. Match point. We're going to find out which team moves on to the winner bracket final and which team drops down into the losers bracket now. So, let's see. Also, again, big shout out and thank you to everybody that is supporting the channel and the stream at patreon.com/Khaldor. Really appreciate it. Again, guys, tournaments like this, I put the prize money up for both of the tournaments here. And events like this wouldn't be possible without you, so we've been keeping the Heroes of the Sports esports scene alive ever since Blizzard completely abandoned it. and without the support that wouldn't be a thing. So thank you to all of the patrons there. If you want to support the channel, if you're thinking about it, then check it out. There's a link in the description if you watch this on YouTube, and if not, you can just like go to the link directly, patreon.com/Khaldor, and yeah, thank you very, very much. Now, on Tomb, we have again the ban on Mephisto. That has happened already a couple of times. I think the bans that we've seen previously are just now going to be carried over. Of course, 20 heroes are now unavailable, which limits the pool a bit further. I suppose they're going to ban Shogal again, given that they now banned him twice. Kel'Thuzad is also banned, so I guess Kel'Thuzad Shogal is what they're going to get rid of. It's the exact same bans that they already showed in game number 1. Don't think that they're going to change the pattern up there. Sylvanas, by the way, is still up. Just as a bit of a side note, that Sylvanas, who can excel on Tomb, is still available. Gul'dan, as a mage for wave clear, would be another one that is still in the game. And they're banning an Uburak again. It's gonna be interesting. This is really where for teams on this level it starts to become a bit dangerous. A bit strange, where it's just like, okay, we might have some problems here. Not all the players have all the heroes either. So they have to really think, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna deal with this? And right now we have the ban on Shogal. It's a little bit sad for us, but it was to be expected. They banned him 3 times already, and I would have been shocked to find this game to be the exception. But now, first pick. And I think Sylvanas would actually be a pretty solid first pick too. I am not sure what their role is where they have the most trouble though, but they go for Gul'dan, which for all the wave clear that he brings is obviously also a very solid choice. Quick side note, when it comes to the side lane, Leo is still available. Bit surprising when you think about it. Normally someone that gets taken a bit earlier, but Leoric has not been claimed. So he would also make a very good side laner for the teams and can get his Entomb out too. So this might be something that we're now going to get from them. And here comes Leo, and we get white main together with it. Alright. So, on the left side. Garrosh and Nazeebo. So, Nazeebo is in the house. Okay, and we have Garrosh. So they go Gul'dan Nazeebo for damage. Yeah. That should be an interesting one from here on out. Yeah, Gul'dan, Nazeebo, cooldown based. That's fine. And then over on the right side, we have Ana, who gets banned. I don't really think that Ana would have been the pick here as a support for the team, and there's still plenty around. I mean, you have Gul'dan and Nazeebo, so I guess they are a little bit afraid of the nano boost. Talking about mages, not really with a whole lot of wave clear, but if you're just looking for kills, Li Ming, of course, is also available. Not the perfect choice when you're going for Tomb of the Spider Queen. Still something to throw out there. Nazeebo is also a bit of an insurance if they make it into the late game that they can use Vital Infection. And then Mal'Ganis gets banned out at the front. So we don't have a front line for them yet. Okay. But yeah, let's have a look on what exactly the red team is now thinking. I want to see what the damage is. Sylvanas again, still up there. I keep saying it, but I would be surprised if she doesn't get chosen. But it seems at this point it might actually be a thing. So we get Junkrat and we get Stitches. So now we have Stitches, who could also then roam between the lanes and get himself a couple of globes. Junkrat, Auriel for heals, nice. But they still need a side laner. Leo's already taken out. They go for Blaze. How is Blaze still available? What? I didn't even catch that. In my head, game number 1, game number 2, Blaze is gone. But for some reason, Blaze is still available and now gets picked in game number 3. That's just wild. And now on the right side in game number 3, final map, ladies and gentlemen, in this best of 3 series here in the winner bracket. And the final choice is Tacita. Junkrat Tacita. Sylvanas is crying in the corner somewhere. Nobody wants her. Nobody likes her. She's unlovable. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 3. Third game of the series. It is match point. Once again, which team is gonna claim victory and move on to the next round of the winner bracket, and which team drops down into the losers match. Over on the left side, we got Gul'dan, played by Linus. We have Balgor on a Zebo, Jillian on Oriel, Vandrias on Garrosh, and Rock J on Blaze. As over on the right side of the map, it's Nakiveen in red with Odorox on Stitches, not going for stacks on level 1. We got Slithery Snack on Junkrat, TT on Tacita, Simba on Leoric, and Laser Mehu is playing Whitemane. Let the games begin. Who's gonna be victorious in our third match? Thing of the Deep taken as the level 1 choice right now. Okay, so that's the thing. And now our 5 versus 5 brawl is instantly resulting in Leo being surrounded by a couple of zombies. Nezebo already starting the rotation here. Aiming for the late game, trying of course to get his Vile Infection stacks together. And if he rotates properly between the mid and the top lane, then he should easily be able to get enough here. This is obviously one of the beautiful things of a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen, that you can get easy rotational stacks whenever you are, especially when you are with your team, with a 4-man, and they help you and don't just steal minions away from you. So, yeah, we're gonna keep our eye on that. And now down at the bottom of the map, we got Leo against Blaze, and Leo is in some trouble here. Okay, man needs to connect the drain. Swing and drain, that's usually the recipe here. But it would be a bit wild if he actually, if that was a solo kill. Okay, so the drain connects, so we're safe at least for now. But in the middle, I mean, Gul'dan is also trying to get some stacks together, by the way, so he's currently in a position where he's hoping to stack his level 1. Normally, what you want to do at a minimum, or what you're kind of aiming for, is you want to complete it by the time that you have your Ruinous Affliction ready as your level 16 talent, when the real synergy is starting to kick in. So that's something that they're likely going to attempt to do here. And then on top of it, we have Gul'dan over on the left side, still going for a little bit of Janus, and now starting with their mercenary camp, so they are going to attempt to quickly get some lane push going. The red team has already cleared that though, so they are much faster on this. Nezebo with, 36 stacks on his level 1. The only defender right now. They should get Gul'dan in here too and help out a bit. They're done with the quest, so they can now try and make that work. The whip is getting in with the repeated offense. Oh yeah, hit me baby, hit me. And over on the right side, we now get, yes, Snail Peasants. A little bit more AoE clear. Now with Siege Giant slowly getting attacked down at the bottom of the map, this has already been spied out by Blaze, so he already knows what's going on there. Doesn't really get any help though, and with 11 gems you shouldn't overextend, or you might get punished for that. Yeah, Gul'dan has been pushing at the top a bit and has already done some structural damage. Gems have been turned in. Red team has been more diligent about this and has turned in 31 gems, whereas we have 18 for the blue team. And Nezebo is at 50 stacks now. I mean, again, he's doing his job. Nezebo is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He gets the stacks together, he gets some work done here. We have in addition, obviously, then also the additional spell power that he's going to get. So that is going to help him. And just like the range increase alone is really nice with Thing of the Deep. That allows him to be a bit safer. So I guess that's also the main idea behind it. Try and stay safe, don't get killed by the opponent, and make sure that you are not trailing behind too early in the game or anything by getting killed and then not being able to properly stack as you should. So the approach that they're going for here makes absolute sense. It's a little bit of a slow start though. Nobody has completed a turn in yet, but I think they're about to. So even one single gem gets turned in. 10 for Gul'dan. They're just not close enough to really get a turn in just yet. But a nice little hook. Oh, and Junkrat. Awesome. That was a nice play against Oriel. And that allows them to get a quick kill. That's first blood in the game. And after losing map number 1, now we have Nakiveen ahead. 2 kills to 0. The hook and the kill. Nice. They go for the triple. They get 3 kills, and now they can also get the turn in. So that was pretty awesome. Garrosh gets killed after Oriel was the initial one to get eliminated. Then the hook, just too easy for Stitches to miss. That's 3 kills to 0. The turn in happens immediately after. And now they are in an absolutely amazing spot. Another hook. They don't have Gorge or anything yet. But again, they're just bouncing Oriel around here. But they aren't able to take her down this time. But still, Web Weavers are now coming down, so this is just looking really, really good for them. That said, keep Nazeebo in mind. Nazeebo is a late game monster, and if he gets to that point, then he can do a whole lot for the team as the game continues. So we still need to at least consider that. That's going to be a pretty important factor as the game continues. If the red team can accelerate all of this and get keeps destroyed even before that, then hey, fantastic. But if they're starting to miss out on it, then it could become an issue later on. For now, though, they're looking good. They have 3 kills to 0. Not a single kill yet for the blue team. And with the first Web Weaver wave, I mean, they opened a couple of walls up, so there's a lot of wave clear with Gul'dan and also Nazeebo for, I forgot their name. But they've done generally well here. So, yeah, not too bad. They've done pretty alright. See if they can do a bit more around all of this. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really seem like there's too much in the cards. The problem is the level 10 ability for the red team. And yeah, Gorge comes in just a moment too late to be used in this. But he goes for it. So now they have their ults. They also have the Entomb. I think they could have forced something here. They were in a spot where forcing a fight, forcing a play was possible, but didn't happen. Nazeebo really, really progressing well. He's at 109 stacks. Archon is getting used as the level 10 ability for Tassadar. But they didn't force anything around this. Like a Hook Gorge would really work out for them. They could have also just gone for an Entomb. There were a couple of opportunities. And just as I say it, there's the move. And Garrosh should die one way or another. Garrosh is gone. Nicely done. This is exactly what they needed. Before level 10 hits, they are able to take this one on. And that is, of course, glorious. That means that they now have 4 kills to 0. They have a 4 versus 5. They can maybe even work the next turn in. So lots of cool things happening for them right now that they can now attempt to execute. Chain them up. And yeah, build on it. Get the second Web Weaver wave, as you can see here. So that's going to be the second one in a row for them. Blue team has still not been able to get a Web Weaver wave in the first place. So yeah. And over here towards the middle. With that, the question is, can they go for the fort? Fort at the bottom is essentially all of the forts are kind of exposed. So they can try and take all of that down pretty easily if they're now moving in with it. It's a 5 versus 5, and the defense is something that I've already spoken about before. If you have 2 mages like they currently do, there's definitely a lot that you can try and attempt here. You should be able to take those Web Weavers out very, very quickly, and they do that. But topside is not defended right now. So up at the top, nothing really has happened here. This is where we have Junkrat doing some damage. Horrify though. Is anybody able to get... Yeah, they're going to be able to get in close enough. And that's a kill. They might still lose the fort, but that was exactly the play that they needed here to get the first kill that they were able to grab so far. So yeah, they got one in. Finally. Took a little bit longer, but there it is. The danger not quite over since the mid lane now got attacked too. But they're starting to look a bit better on this. But yeah, poor Junkrat. The hooks will soon be extended too. I mean, it doesn't really take too long, and then they're gonna have them on on the next range when level 13 connects. Blue team finally with some Web Weavers on their own. So thanks to that, they should be able to get some work done here. But yeah, we'll see how much they can do. Because they really need to catch up. It's half a level they're only behind. But they need to do some work. And Aegis is now being used trying to save Garrosh. He just gets bounced around and gets killed. So Garrosh is already gone. And that's another hook. But Blaze at the Jack Propulsion and gets away. He has 33 gems. You don't want to lose him here. So him surviving is definitely important. And yeah, they haven't done a lot with the web weavers, that's the problem. Yeah, so push through the middle now. Gate, oh sorry, to the top. Gate is gone. Down here, Leo's defending alone. Yes, I really think they should have been able to do a bit more out of this, but it wasn't in the cards, I guess. And it's the, I think the talent advantage was also a problem for them. Now it's 13 versus 13, but this is definitely a bit of a disappointing objective for them. We have 14,000 damage for Junkrat and for Gul'dan, so the two are very, very close in the numbers. Pretty much identical now. There's the hook, Gorge. Keep in mind, he has more than 30 gems. If they can kill him, that would be big. 35 gems for him now. Blaze. Bunker isn't ready. Blaze. They use Aegis. And he gets away. Even the Riptire can't connect, but they kill Garrosh again. Garrosh has now died 4 times. So, yeah. That is the end of Garrosh, and he died 4 times in total, which means that out of the 6 kills, more than 50% were him. Nakivin, guys, they lost the first map. They lost map number 1, and they are just doing their thing here. After they won game number 2, they are now on a tear in game number 3, and they could turn all of this around. That would be a pretty big comeback too. There's just so much displacement. You have the hooks. It's actually not so much. You have Stitches and you have Junkrat. You have the hooks and you have the traps and the mines. But it just works so well, and you feel like the entire time there's just heroes being bounced around. I have no idea how that hook missed, by the way. How did that miss? That must have gone like underneath Gul'dan's arm or something. He just barely dodged that. So they're trying to turn in again, and they do. Blaze is going to be happy as well because he delivered his, but no, not like this. Horrify? Yeah, he gets the Horrify out. Yeah, but he dies. The bunker was on the ground, but they weren't able to get to him. Aegis wasn't used either. So now it's level 16 versus level 14, and the web weavers. Oh my god, these hooks! These hooks are insane. I feel a bit sorry for the blue team, if I'm honest, because they've played generally quite well. They did their best here, but now they are slowly falling apart. Yeah, they are just, I don't want to say they got farmed, this is a bit too harsh and it's not quite reflecting what's actually going on here, but they are definitely being bullied a bit. That is a 2-level advantage now for Nakivin, and it just feels that every time they're trying to set up a play, it gets ruined 5 seconds later. And Nazeebo, he's already fully stacked, so that's awesome for him. The problem with that simply is that I just don't see a world in which Nazeebo is going to be able to hit level 20 with them still being in a position where they can turn the game around. So Ice Block is out. Riptire straight to Nazeebo's face. He's gone. Garrosh is about to die again. Jet Propulsion from Blaze. He tried to prevent it. Dodges the hook. There's the... Yeah, well, he's dead too. So that's 3 heroes down. And this is now 10 kills to 1. 2.5 level advantage. They're going to get another turn in. They should honestly go for boss plus turn in here. For sure. Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is really the moment where you need to try and take the boss out and then go for because I mean, they do it the other way around. This one works too. Either way, they got enough damage output to get this one quickly. So they're going to be pretty big here. But yeah, we'll see. Now, over there on the left side, this is obviously where they're going to try and defend. But whew, this could get a little bit rough. Yeah, I mean, 10 kills to 1, no level 16, 3 level advantage. If they somehow could just jump forward in experience and get level 20, I would say they still would have a chance. Small one, but there would still be a chance. But without Vital Infection, I just don't see it happen. They're defending well, though. They're defending pretty okay. Considering what's moving through the top lane right now, they're doing fairly alright. Oriel getting stunned here like this, probably not the best endorsement, but still. Yeah, they pushed the red team back somehow. They didn't even lose the top side keep. What? Okay, I am amazed that this keep is not gone, but I think they're at least going to lose the one in the middle. So, maybe not. Their wave clear is insane, honestly. They're able to take all of this out so easily, it's ridiculous. They got Gul'dan here, they got Nazeebo here, and they're doing so much when it comes to that defense. Level 16 talents are now ready too, but they're holding on to the keeps. The problem is just simply, can they somehow survive long enough? Let's not forget, it's going to take half level and the red team is going to lock their level 20 talent in. So, I don't know if they can survive this. I really don't know if they can survive this here. But they are going to try to somehow stay alive long enough to get viral infection. Even then, it's not guaranteed that they are going to be able to make all of this work. But hey, maybe. Gul'dan has, Nazeebo has 214 stacks already. So, yep. He's getting a lot here. Some spiders, by the way, some toads. The build has everything. But here are level 20 talents now. The Master Hooker. And over here, Purge the Wicked for White Mane. And the upgrade with the Twilight Archon for Tacita. Oi, 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 oi. So, yeah. Battle in the middle. Nearly enough gems, not quite, for the red team to get another turn in. But not quite there. But they are getting closer and closer. And they should be able to summon another one before the blue team has level 20 talents. I think they're going to lose some keeps for sure. I don't think they can avoid that. Let's not forget that the red team has not lost a single fort yet. Not one. Not a single fort has been destroyed. Just saying. All of them are still available here. So, yeah. Now, top side. Yeah, we get the next little attack here towards the keep. Somebody, okay, Nazeebo's taking care of it. Fair enough. This is good news for them because they are just pinned down in their base. The experience comes to them. And the red team is obviously just farming gems. They are farming gems and they're saying like, we're gonna get the turn in, and then we're gonna attack with the web weavers and we're gonna kill them. And I think that is a pretty decent strategy, honestly, considering how big the gap is. Oop. There is the hook, there's the gorge, and that's a dead place. Don't even try and save him. He's not... Wait, what? Okay, that's one way to escape. It would have been so funny if he gets hooked again. But he actually makes it out. So he runs away from it. He makes it out, escapes. Good for him. Nazeebo's at 265 stacks. He's soon going to become the main tank. They have one level to still bridge, but the blue team, the red team has enough gems now to get their turn in. Red team has the gems to get a turn in here. The hook also not quite successful. Gul'dan pushes the top lane out. This is just wild. Guys, if they win this game, how insane would that be? I don't understand why the red team doesn't turn in. Why on earth would you not turn in? What are you waiting for? Are you saving those gems for the next game? Okay, finally. Finally we have the move over. I was like, you have enough. You've had enough for a while now. Just go turn in and then end it right there. That has to be the play. So, yeah, the hooks are still being fired out. Damage-wise, we have 36,000 for Junkrat, 34,000 for Nazeebo. And even with only half a level missing for the blue team, I honestly think this is kind of it. I mean, this kind of has to be it, right? At least it seems so. We're having web weaver. Keeps are going to fall, 100%. If they somehow can get kills, then they might be able to push this back, but keeps are going to fall. They're not saving their keeps. Mid lane, top lane are both going to be obliterated. Maybe they can save the bottom. Maybe. And then you really have to go hard, or this is just going to be lights out. This is just what it is. So they're trying to defend. 20 is there any second now. Where's Nazeebo's damage? Nazeebo's Violent Infection, 34,000 damage. Nazeebo's at 34,000. All of the keeps are gone. This is a bit of a moment of truth now. If they can turn this now with the power of Grayskull and Nazeebo, they might have a shot. Oh god. It would be hilarious. He has at 300 stacks. Nazeebo is at 300 stacks, just saying. By the way, guys, you have a keep down there, catapult down there. I guess that you're worried about the boss and you need to remove it, but there's catapults moving in on 2 lanes and it's 20 minutes into the game. Something to consider here. So, yeah. Nazeebo has a hit point or 2. Can somebody please deal with this? If you lose to Winions now. If they're now losing to Winions, I swear. So now they're moving all down. All of them. Blaze is there and the red team is immediately going for the boss. Red team is immediately on the boss. Oh boy. And I think if they get the boss here, they have actually a shot at winning this, don't they? I mean, they are trying. And we'll see. Okay, boss being fought over. Garrosh gets caught. Garrosh gets caught. Nazeebo walks out of everything straight into his own trap. There's the Horrify. Nazeebo gets the damage out, but he's also losing hit points quickly. Ice blocks. Needs a heal. Needs a heal quickly. Oriel, cooldown, hook. And Blaze just takes the boss. Blaze just said, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go and I'm going to grab this one. So he grabs the boss. That might save them for now. This is just too wild. Somebody needs to defend against the catapults. They're still fighting here. Nazeebo is alive. How much damage does Nazeebo have by now? Nazeebo is sitting now at 54,000 damage. Guys, since we checked the last time, he has done 20,000 damage. And the boss went through the top fort. So now they were able to put that off. And Nazeebo is defending. Koa is losing hit points. Bro, take the catapults out. No matter what you do. Catapults first, please. And Nazeebo is now at 320 stacks. So, 320 stacks for him. Boss at the top. I have no idea why they're attacking here in the middle. They got hooked again. I don't understand. What are you doing? Run away. Don't be here. Just be somewhere else. Oriel gets killed. No! Garrosh is gone. Only the 2 mages are still alive. Why are you in the middle? Just run. And if one dies, then one dies. Who cares? Well, they are now getting attacked. Nakivin is, I guess, about to win the game. They go for the core. Nazeebo is hit by the Entomb. And he is going to fall. Swing to win. Mace to the face. Bye-bye Nazeebo. GG. Nakivin moves on to the winner bracket final. And I forgot the name goes down to the losers bracket. GG.